Hello and welcome to yet another tutorial. Today we're going to be looking at some different hotkeys in Windows 7. And for you who are not familiar with hotkeys, this is basically a shortcut in Windows consisting of one or many buttons on your keyboard. And if you master these hotkeys, I guarantee you that not only will you be able to use Windows almost exclusively with your keyboard, but most importantly, you will be a very much more efficient Windows user. And the ones we're going to be looking at today mainly consist of the Windows key, which has the Windows logo on it. You find it in the lower left corner on your keyboard, probably, and combined with either letters or numbers. So the first one we're going to be looking at is the Windows key combined with either the key 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. The numbers keys. Not on your numpad if you have a numpad, but the keys above your letters. Okay. So I'm going to press the Windows key, and directly after it I'm going to press 1. This is going to choose this is going to pull up the first window which I have down here on my tray table. So Windows 1 because it's the first window. Okay. So if I press Windows 2, I'm gonna get up the second window. Okay. Windows 2 gets up Skype, which was my second. Very useful if you have a lot of tabs down here, and for example if you have some programs here from the beginning. For example, if I close this, you can see that I have Google Chrome there all the time. So for me, Google Chrome is always on Windows 1. Very useful, or any browser that you might be using. And if I have a group of windows down here, as you can see that I have on my third box, then you're going to press Windows and the digit 3, but you're going to hold the Windows key down. And now by pressing 3, you can walk through these. While holding your Windows key, you can walk through the windows. And if you want to walk the opposite direction, you keep the Windows key pressed, and you also press Shift, and then again you press 3, but you walk the opposite direction. Useful if you have a lot of windows and you just walked a step too far. Okay. The next hotkey is one that I find very, very useful, especially if you have multiple monitors, which is a requirement for it. Which is Windows P, and I'm going to show you by pressing Windows P. And then you get this menu, and then you get 4 options. This is adapted to a dual monitor setup, so if you have one of those fancy new graphic cards which supports more than 2, then this might be a little too simple for you. But if you are like me and most other users and have 2 monitors, then this is going to be perfect for you. For example, if you want to view a movie or something, you pick the projector only, if you want to have it only on your projector or second TV screen or whatever it is, or just whichever option you want to use. This is very self-explanatory and works much faster than going into the screen resolution menu here and picking all your choices there. And another hotkey that I find extremely useful is the Windows key plus one of the arrows keys. You can use all of them, and they have slightly different usages. I'm going to start with Windows right arrow, which is, for example, when you're browsing the web and you see something interesting that you want to make a note of, or you see a stream that you want to have running in the background or whatever. Then you press Windows key and right, and the window will align to the right hand side of your screen. And for example, if you want to make a note of something on this screen, you're going to run your text editor. I'm going to run Microsoft Word, which I have on my 5th tab, by the way, using Windows 5, browsing through it. There I get the window, and I'm going to want to align that to the left, so I'm going to press Windows left. And to go back, I simply press Windows down. And if I want to minimize this window, I press Windows down again. Windows down minimizes. Okay, Windows up. You get the one selected, which was my browser. Okay, moving on to the next hotkey, which is a classic one, Windows E, which will run the computer choice. It's instead of going into this menu and pressing computer, basically. So you just press Windows E and you get this window. Useful sometimes. And the next hotkey is probably the oldest one in Windows, followed through all of their softwares, all of the versions, which is Windows R, Windows Run, which is a prompt where you can type various commands to run different programs and applications. So, for example, you can see here that I recently used it for running Notepad, which is probably the one I use the most. It's a program that you very swiftly want to gain access to. So, Notepad, and you can make a note of anything. Okay, the next one is a bit more specific for Windows 7, new to this one. You press the Windows B key, which B stands for bar, so the bar in the lower right hand corner this time. You press B one time, Windows B one time, and then using the arrows you can go through your toolbar here. It can be useful if you have a lot of programs here that you use a lot. And then be sure to put them in the corner then, so that you can, the one you use the most, put them to the left so that you can very quickly access them. Okay, for example, I can open Steam here pressing enter. Okay. And the last one that we're going to learn today is one that makes use of the excellent search engine that is very much refined in Windows 7 compared to earlier versions of Windows. So that is Windows F, F standing for find, of course. So you press Windows, the Windows key find, where you can type anything. Okay, Word, I like to type. Okay. And this pretty much wraps up this hotkey tutorial for Windows 7. You've now learned the basic hotkeys that will make you a much more efficient Windows user. If you have a great idea for a tutorial or a dilemma in Windows that you want me to take a look at, please send me an email and I'll be sure to try to help out. Until then, and until next time, thank you for watching. Bye.